Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you everyone, everywhere. Welcome to today. Today is Thursday, the 15th of May, 2025. Apologies for the slightly delayed start to this morning's show, but good having you company. I am Pearson Bowen, and to all of you everywhere, good morning. How do you do? Thank you so much for joining us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, cbc.bb. As always, we're grateful for your company. We encourage you, while you talk among yourselves, talk to us as well. Share your questions, your comments, and as always, we do appreciate that. And because we appreciate you, share the show, share the love. Tell someone else about us and bring them along to engage with us every single weekday morning from 6 in the morning. Remember, if you have something or if you know of someone whose story you think we need to share right here on Morning Barbados, just send us an email. Simple. That email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, I say thank you. Thank you so very much for sharing your tips and your ideas as well ahead, and I appreciate you doing so. Now, you know how I start the day, don't you? I always start the day with getting your brains cracking with the riddle of the day. And as we started yesterday, I say to you, call me. I'm not asking you the question first because you tend to do the wrong thing, which is to seek alternative assistance. And I'm saying to you, no. Use that computer in your brain. So if you think you're so inclined to be challenged by me this morning and to see if you could defeat me because a number of you are lining up to do so, good luck. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me now and be bold as brass to ask me to give you a riddle, and I shall do so. And in doing so, I wish you well. To answer me correctly, as I always ask, show me the working. I want to hear how you arrived at your answer, so don't shy away from doing so with me. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. So good morning to Auntie Faye. She's watching us from St. Peter. Auntie Faye, good morning. She wishes all of you a blessed Thursday. We send it back to you, Auntie Faye. Patricia Ben is in the United States of America. Pat, how are you doing today? She wishes the crew a very good morning. And back at you, Pat. We have a call. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Don't listen to your TV. Please, producer, ask them kindly to turn the TV off. I know I don't want to lose them. Just ask them kindly to turn the TV off and listen to your telephone. I keep saying to you all the time, when you call someone on your telephone, you just listen to the phone and engage with them. Same thing with me. Same thing with me. Talk to me via your telephone. Listen to me via your telephone and not your television. You would be totally confused. I guarantee you. There's a delay. And so because of the delay, it will come back to you via your TV sometime later. So just listen to your telephone as you engage with me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So to you in Queens, New York, like you, Marcia Rock, a very good morning. Thank you so much for commenting and sharing with us. She wishes all of you a terrific today. Rhonda Hines Graham is back. And Sweet Rons, have a lovely day. She wishes all a great morning indeed. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. You didn't learn, did you? You did not learn, did you?
Hello, good morning.
There you are. Good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
You have me on hold?
I don't have you on hold. I have you on the air, as a matter of fact. And are you listening to your television?
I'm not hearing you.
Are you listening to your television? I don't know. Well, our technical producers will try to work that out as we do so. So I'm not so sure what's going on to you. I apologize. But we'll try to work that out as it goes. Now, coming up today, we want to know from our young people, what are their thoughts on regionalism? What are their thoughts on the future? As a meeting here, we'll meet some outgoing presidents of guilds of universities across the region. We want to hear from them. What are you talking about? What do you think we ought to be talking about as the big old people of the region? So we want to hear from them in just a moment. More and more people are working online, but more and more, that's where the scammers are as well. And when our IT specialist joins us this morning, we want to look at the pitfalls, the dangers, what you need to look out for as you do more and more of your life and your work online. Now, the West Indies, we play cricket louder, and so we're getting ready for all of the energy. Chris Daring, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Cricket West Indies, Inc., he'll join us this morning just ahead of the upcoming home series. We have 2 home series happening here in the region this year, and we want to engage you all, indeed, so that you come fill the stadia across the region to watch cricket played louder. Can't wait for that as well. We'll also hear this morning from the Barbados Union of Teachers, not about their situation, but simply about what are they doing to take care of teachers. And they have a significant activity coming up this weekend. We can't wait to hear from them about that. The Barbados Child Care Board, they have deferred Child Month from this month to November. But this month in particular, they're looking at the whole question of fostering. I know at times you think of adoption only, but there's another way for you to engage and assist children of our island through fostering. What happens? How do we do so? And so we're going to be meeting with them to talk about that in just a little while. Coming up, the National Youth Awards happening in Barbados. Have you already made your nominations? If you haven't done so, we'll remind you this morning how to do so. And we'll also meet one of those who was a recipient of a National Youth Award last year. He'll talk to us about his journey, what it means to be recognized in this way, and a whole lot more. And there's fashion galore by the students of the Barbados Community College on this weekend. And so we'll meet some of the designers behind some of the designs you will see on the catwalk in just a little while right here on Morning Barbados. But remember, keep trying. At some point, you will interrupt me and I'll take your calls as we try to work out our riddles for today. But let's get started this Thursday morning by turning our attention to the ongoing meeting of the Intercampus Guild Council. These gentlemen with me, 5 of them, are all outgoing presidents of their respective guilds. I'm happy to be joined this morning by, next to me, Tyson Holder, who is the guild president of the UWI campus. Next to him is Javonte Spencer of the 5 Island campus. That's in Antigua. I don't know where on heaven's earth is this 5 Islands thing. It's in Antigua. It's a relatively new campus. Next to him is Joseph Patty, the guild president of St. Augustine. Welcome, Joseph. Also, Perry Cummings Jr., the Guild of Mona Campus, and the Guild Camp President of the Global Campus is Ramon Babb, who's sitting right across from me. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, you all hear the baritone? It is so good. I don't get that too often. This is fantastic. So it's good to have you here, and it's good to see that we have leaders who are men. And does that concern you, first of all, Tyson, about how the leadership positions are being filled more and more by the female?
If it concerns me, no, absolutely not. I'm glad to see that, women are breaking those barriers in terms of the patriarchy and the glass ceiling that would have been established way before. So I'm happy that more women are stepping forward in leadership positions, but I'm also very grateful that my entire cohort is gentlemen that I can relate to. And I don't think that we should be comparing the two. We all have different aspects or elements to add to leadership, and I think when someone is needed is when they're called to action.
Now, you are the host president. The meeting is being held in Barbados of all of these gentlemen and others as well. What's happening in that meeting?
What's happening? So we essentially come together. We have policy discussions. We discuss proposals that are implemented, usually piloted in the specific campus that it is proposed by, and then we look at how we can scale that proposal across the campuses, and especially give it a framework to fit within the dynamics of each campus.
So there is a proposal, and now you're in meetings to try to scale that proposal across all of the campuses. And so, Javonte,
yes, sir.
What is that proposal?
Okay, so each of us, our respective campuses, they submit a proposal. So for me, it could be implementing physical or implementing accounting software within every UE campus. Or for Joseph, it could be implementing a dance course in every UE campus. So it's really subjective per campus. They would meet, generate ideas, and then come to ICGC for approval.
As the president of your guild at 5 Islands, what do you do almost on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis, it's basically running the machine. As the guild president, I am the CEO, and the big man. So basically, I ensure the machine is running, from sending emails, answering calls, signing off on invoices, ensuring that the students' needs are met. We are advocates for change, and we serve our students.
But Joseph, you're also listening to the voices and the concerns of the students.
Yes.
So what are they saying to you at St. Augustine as some of their concerns while having life at campus?
The major concern for St. Augustine has always been financial assistance from students. Coming out of the pandemic, you know, the economy has changed for a lot of people in a lot of negative ways. And because of that, students now have to find creative ways to pay for their degree, sometimes support their family. So the major one is always financial concern. The second biggest one is mental health. I think we need to stop saying that mental health is a taboo subject and just start getting straight into it and attacking mental health where it needs to be, so that students know that they have support regardless of whatever issues internally or externally that they might be facing.
So what are they saying to you relative to mental health?
So it's always on the subject of, well, the biggest one is procrastination. I don't think people really understand how significant procrastination is. And then, of course, young men and women have so many external influences now that could give rise to anxiety or depression, and people aren't comfortable coming forward and saying those things. So I get a lot of private messages, a lot of private calls, and the university does have a lot of systems in place to deal with that, but we as a guild also put forward a lot of different initiatives like healthy eating habits, study habits, things to prepare students for not only just within campus, but when they leave as well, to take care of their mental health.
I mean, you're not their father.
No.
At the same time, you have a responsibility, and you take that responsibility seriously.
Yes.
What about you, Perry? From where you sit, what do you hear at Mona from those who you have responsibility for?
Thank you for the question, and I must agree with my president here from St. Augustine. The concerns over by Jamaica for Mona is always a matter of financial assistance. Also, safety is a concern on the Mona campus as well. So what we do there as the Guild is to try and ensure that we advocate for a safer campus by revisiting the security policies, ensuring that the accessibility to the campus is minimal as much as possible. We ensure that persons are properly vetted before they come onto the campus, because we have to keep our students safe, right? It's very important that while they study to get that degree, that master's, whatsoever it is, that they feel safe. So those are the concerns that I will get. And of course, with a good team over by the Mona Guild, we ensure that the students' voices are heard.
Because it's a regional campus, you have students coming from all across the region. Understanding the differences in culture alone is sometimes a concern. So how do you integrate students, and what can the Guild do to ensure that there is a real synergy between everyone while on campus?
Yes, so of course Mona campus is the largest one, so you can just imagine the many students that I have to cater to and to listen to. And again, being a Jamaican student, having to preside over students from St. from St. Augustine, from other places, from the different Caribbean islands, from international spaces as well, we have to create a space of regionalism. So what the Guild does over by Mona, we have something called Thursday integrations, right? That's a space, a cultural space, to have different students interacting with each other, to learn more about the different cultures, and to have that melting pot then of cultures. And that's really one of Mona's biggest things that we try to promote, the integration of cultures. And that's what we do. We create safe spaces for everybody to learn from each other.
I keep hearing the word safe spaces, Ramon. Same thing at the Global Campus?
Yes. So at the Global Campus, of course, the dynamic is a bit different. We're not the London campus is, so we're fully online. We have students from all over different countries. We just recently renamed our campus from Open Campus to now Global Campus. So we expanded our brand. So we have international students as well within the different sites, because we call them sites, or we call them chapters within the different Caribbean countries. We also have the ISCO. We also have a new school, the ISDJ, which is coming on board for the new academic year. So we have this space online where our students can come, they can learn, get their degrees, and so on. Yeah.
In a physical space, we oftentimes, because I can reach over and touch, you know, I could go complain and fret and say, I want this, want that to happen. But when it's online, you tend to want to do it yourself because you're in your own private space. Do you find it difficult as a Guild president to pull together the students to say, let's talk?
It is very difficult because we do not have the luxury of calling a meeting and face-to-face to actually like hear their voices. I mean, a simple phone call, we have town hall meetings and so on, we engage our students, but it's different. The good thing is though, at our local chapters within the different countries, we have guilds there as well. So for example, I'm the chapter chair for Grenada. So I have a team there. We have 7 persons on that team. So that team is able to meet with the students in Grenada to hear their concerns for Grenada. These persons for the different chapters, they form council for Global Campus. The councillors would share these concerns with the regional team, so that way we kind of get a better sense as to what's happening with the students on the line, well, not on the line, but at the different chapters or different sites. Yeah.
Listen, gentlemen, y'all are impressing me so far. We ain't done. We're taking a break, and we're coming right back in just a moment.
This segment of Exceptional Youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund. Financing education the easy way.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources.
This segment of Exceptional.
That's Alicia's voice in the 21 minutes now after the hour of 6 o'clock. These gentlemen are fun. I am enjoying these young men here on the set with me. They're all outgoing presidents of their respective guilds. We have the Guild of Barbados, the Guild from Five Islands, the Guild from St. Augustine, the Guild from Mona, and the Guild from the Global Campus indeed. And we're so excited about this because I want to turn our attention onto regionalism. What concerns you most about the region, Tyson?
What concerns me most about the region is the lack of regionalism. I think we need to integrate better. I think we need to really focus on CARICOM, focus on the flaws that CARICOM may have. And I think if that is a resource that we tap into as a region and we can really get it right, I think the Caribbean has a major potential to be a key stakeholder in international trade. And I study economics, so international trade, those kinds of things are more my area. So I would say definitely in terms of being a key player in international trade, we need to focus on regional integration.
Do all of you share the same opinion? Or does anyone have a different opinion?
I could only add to what President Holder said.
Let me hear you.
Yes, and for me, I think we have a problem as the Caribbean. You know, we need to unite. One of the biggest issues that I'm seeing across the Caribbean landscape is this division among ourselves. And with the recent tariff wars that we're seeing on the global scene, it is affecting the smaller islands. And unless we pull together and recognize that at the end of the day, at the helm of what is happening on the international scene, it affects us negatively. When you talk about climate change, all of these things that are happening, the multinational corporations, when they're emitting all of these dangerous gases into the atmosphere, we, the small island states, we are the ones who are facing it. Unless we come together, draft policy to not separate ourselves further from each other, but to come together even more. That's what we're going to do to fight against these things. I may sound a bit passionate, but I have to highlight the fact that we make it so expensive to travel across the Caribbean state as well. Why should I spend so much money to go buy my neighbor? These are some of the things that we must revisit as CARICOM, as President Holder suggested, and just as a regional space. We have to address it.
What are you going to do about it? Because the future is yours.
Yes. as a student of the political science field, I believe policy is very important. That's where the real change is, coupled with economics, coupled with different areas of expertise. But I believe from a policy standpoint, we have to get to the papers again, revisit the policies to see whether or not these things are effective, what needs to be adjusted so that everyone can benefit.
Joseph, I saw your lips open earlier. You were dying to say something.
I was going to say when President Cummins said climate change. So I'm a geography student. That's one of my majors. So that's a big passion of mine. And he was talking about the emissions, and we as a region are also very disproportionate in our emissions. So Trinidad and Tobago is a heavily industrialized country. Some of these smaller island states that are very low level are facing significant challenges from rising sea levels from high emissions. So the actions of Trinidad might adversely affect the actions of their neighbor. And I think we as an entity, as a whole CARICOM unit, as different islands, need to band together, because we're always saying that we came from a place that is so disadvantaged, yet we produce the most brilliant minds. Those minds need to come together and solve those problems, and we can do it as a region. I just don't know why it's taking so long.
But Javonte, from Antigua and Grenada and the like, from there, as a relatively smaller island, how do you feel about your space in the region?
I feel like we're here. Realistically speaking, Antigua and Barbuda, we are experiencing everything that's happening as we are one Caribbean. And I do stand with my colleagues saying that we are in the need for the Caribbean oneness. And realistically, I put it down to a lack of education, because everybody is seeing the flashing lights but not seeing the nitty-gritty of the situation. If we digress from our current problems, then we're blind, realistically speaking.
Solutions. I'm listening to you. Yes, you're the student.
Yeah,
Tell me
my
what are some of the
is,
possible solutions?
Education, as I would say. So all of us here are current guild presidents, and we are advocates, and we must reach our peers. And it starts, we're the future leaders, realistically speaking. So we have this platform. We're using it to, share regionalism. We're using it to, yeah.
Could I just add to President Holder? The very same ICGC that we're having now is a testament to regionalism that we want to build on. So 5 presidents from 5 different countries, 5 different perspectives, though that may be true, we have a common goal, and the goal is to unite a stronger Caribbean. So one of the solutions is to continue to facilitate spaces like these, where young leaders, not just future leaders, but the leaders that are here now, can come together physically, virtually. I prefer physically. Where we can come, talk, put the issues on the table and say, listen, this is the way in which we're going to do it. So we have to firstly, create the space to have these conversations.
Who do you think is not hearing you?
Go ahead, President.
I would say the person in government, I find it's time for them to involve us more. I don't feel, sometimes it feels as if we're not heard. Sometimes it feels as if, yes, they may be listening, but are they really putting things in place for us? And I was going to jump off what Javonte said in terms of education, because that's my field. We need to relook some of the education policies.
Precisely.
We need to. There's a major need for that. And I'm an educator, I'm a teacher as well, so I know, I understand the dynamic. We have a lot that young people can offer. I think that there's a lot more that we can do for the youths. We lack in that area across the CARICOM. There's a lot more that we can offer as well. The students, we are here. The youths in the different countries, we notice a huge decrease in males who attend universities and so on. What are the governments, what are the youths doing to assist those other youths who need that assistance? So we have something that we need to do. We are here, 5 male guild presidents. We are representing the male gender, right? So we created a space for the other males to see that, okay, look, we are here. We are doing it, right? And I told my students that, because I teach males at the moment. I told them, look, there's opportunities out there for you. So take full advantage of it. But it comes back again, what are the opportunities that are available to them? what opportunities are the governments, what opportunities are the schools have for these students or have for us.
There is a requirement then for structural change.
Yes.
The way it is set up, the system is set up, and it really rests on all of your shoulders, quite frankly. I'm too old now to be able to lift that load, you know, but you are young enough with the energy and the passion enough to be able to make the change that we want all to see in our region. And so your parting words, Tyson, talk to me now about going out of your presidency. What would Tyson want to be?
What would Tyson want to be? I definitely have a passion for service, and I have a love for people. So I know I would, in whatever I do, I would want to continue to serve people in whatever capacity that may be in. And, you know, I just want to continue to educate myself and further contribute to the Barbadian society. I love Barbados so much. I don't intend on leaving.
Me too.
And so I don't intend on leaving, and I definitely plan to contribute to the economy.
Yes.
My area of expertise is in economics. I'm graduating in October, God's willing, and I'm really ready to put my education to work.
For Barbados.
For Barbados.
And the region by extension.
Yes.
What about you, Javante?
For me, I am pursuing a bachelor's in human resource management. However, as I conclude that, I want to go into political science management. So I see myself at the forefront of, you know, the Antigua and Barbuda government making that change happen.
See, politics.
Different route. I want to definitely go into wildlife protection and conservation. I think me at Trinidad as a country, but as a region as well, isn't actually taking that seriously, genuinely. And they have so many resources that we could learn from. I mean, medicine comes from the environment. We could make so much groundbreaking changes from things like that. So that's what I want to go into. So after my bachelor's, which I just completed, graduating in October, God willing again, I want to go into my master's in biodiversity conservation at St. Augustine.
Perry, politics.
I make no apologies. I'm going into politics, and I'm ensuring that the voice of the youth are at the table, and we will be revisiting some policies from a regional perspective. Definitely in Jamaica, we're in an election climate, so there's a lot that young people need to say.
I'm voting for you. Ramon, what about you?
So, well, completely different from all of them. So, as I mentioned, I'm in education, my degree is in education. So, well, it's specifically leadership and management. So I'm looking to broader expand that scope within education. I'm currently a teacher, maybe become a curriculum officer, chief education officer, one of these positions in the ministry, where they are discussing the policies and so on for education. Specifically for my country in Grenada, I feel like we have a lot of work that can be done. So I'm open to be a part of that change.
Wow, I want to be a part of the change with you guys as well. So, Lord, save my life to be able to see all of these things come to fruition. But gentlemen, thank you. Outgoing presidents of guilds of the universities of the West Indies, all the very best with your respective futures, okay?
Thank you so
very
much.
My vote. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're back in just a moment.
Of exceptional youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund. Financing education the easy way.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scald is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
25 minutes now to 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to a space where we all live nowadays, online. And so joining us as we look at this whole question of working online and where the scammers also live is Everton Collier, IT specialist. Everton, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. So working online,
yes,
and also being mindful that there are other people coexisting with us online called scammers.
Correct.
What did we get wrong?
All right. Complacency is where it goes wrong. I believe what happens is when you're going to look for a job online, especially if it's a reputable site, you relax. You say, well, nothing's gonna happen. Just going for a job. But that's where it can become really weird because there's 3 types. Actually, there's more, but we're gonna speak on the 3 major types of remote online scamming, work-wise, that is. So there's one called the remote online work opportunity scam. So that one is, I won't ruse you in because that one is meaningless task, you know, and they will pay you, they say they'll pay you 100 to 200 US a day.
Yes.
Just, all you have to do is just rate a photo or like a video and whatnot. But that's when where it gets tricky because they're not paying you. They're not going to pay you. They're going to take your information from you and probably scam you the most. There's the other one called the task-based job scam. That's one where they lure you in by paying you a small amount of money. Same thing with liking a video or boosting the merchant's online visibility. But where it gets weird is when they tell you need to, in order for you to get more high paying tasks, you have to invest. If you want to release your funds, you have to invest, and the investment is via cryptocurrency.
Right.
So if you don't have a crypto wallet, they're going to set up that wallet for you. Once they set up that wallet for you,
they control it.
They control it.
And you get to see not a cent.
Nothing. You will see it in the portal,
but you can't access it.
But you can't access it, or because your crypto wallet may be linked to your bank account. They will start to pull. Right. There's another one called the identity theft recruitment scam, where the employer, the potential employer, will ask you for a series of information such as your national identification number, your driver's license, obviously your full name, and under the guise of direct deposit, they will ask for just your banking information. No.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Mistake. And we're building a society of cynicism now. We're saying, you know what? I don't trust anyone or anything. And while that is good for self-preservation, it also destroys the human spirit. So how do I, when I get scammed, get out of it?
How do you get out of it?
Or can I get out of it?
You can get out of it, but it can be difficult. Sometimes it's just easier sometimes to start over. Like if you get scammed out of your Facebook account,
Oh boy.
Yeah. You get scammed on your Facebook account. You got 4,000 friends. Sometimes it's harder to get back that account. So you just start over and go
Chalk
again.
it up to experience and just move on.
However, when it comes to your money,
that's a different matter.
That's a different matter.
My money is my life.
Correct.
And
so you go to every expense, everything, to speak to your banking reps and whatnot. Freeze your cards. If you believe that it was a scam, go and change your passwords. Go on your online banking. You should have an option to freeze your accounts. Freeze your accounts. Report it to your bank. So if it's any suspicious activity, they can see it on the back end. You may not be able to, but they'll be able to see it on the back end. Nothing's happened to your account because it's been frozen by yourself. But they will contact you and say, hey, you have a transaction from ZYX merchants. Do you know them?
Yeah.
No. And sometimes the transaction is not even $100. It's like a dollar.
Or 50 cents.
50 cents.
And you think, oh, that's nothing. Just ignore
yeah,
it.
but that's when they are trying. So, oh, you got $1? All right. I can pull 2 next week. I can pull 3 next week. Let me go for the big one. I can pull $1,200 out of your account. And that's when you're like, but that's my last $1,200.
Yes, that's too significant now.
You
I
know?
can't ignore it.
Correct.
Fortunately, the banking system, I find with my accounts that they alert for every transaction legitimate as well.
Correct.
And so that is one security feature that you need to ensure that you do have set up with your accounts.
Yes. The other thing is that when you are on the job sites looking at these, and a lot of them I've seen personally a lot of these on a reputable website.
Or what appears to be.
It is a reputable website.
Really?
Yes.
Or those links that we see.
Yes, it's a reputable website. However, what you can do is when if it looks too good to be true.
It is really too good to be true.
It's really too good to be true sometimes. Or what you can do is reach out to the company itself and ask if, hey, is this position that you're advertising open? And sometimes it can be true, sometimes it can't be. It will be a scam itself.
One of our viewers is saying, scammers always calling me, telling me I won money from Samsung. She wants to know whether or not that's a legitimate thing.
No, that's not legitimate at all.
So don't take the call.
David and Sarah from Samsung, they're not legitimate. Trust me.
Yep.
Yeah. I've had David and John contact me. Hey, you need to get this, and you need to claim your prize along with your S9.
Yes.
I don't want an S9. I want an S25. Right? But yeah, no. David and John, Sarah.
Right.
No.
Sometimes you get this strange messages popping as well from WhatsApp. How do you respond to that?
Delete and block.
You got that right.
Block and delete.
Thank you.
There's also text message going around from what it seems to be one of our banks, but you need to look at the name of that bank carefully to realize that's not the name of the bank. And sometimes it's stating that you have an account with them, but you don't. So look out for that one as well. That's cybersecurity.
We got that right.
Yep.
Real scary indeed. But he isn't scary. He's Everton Colley. He's our IT consultant or IT specialist indeed. And so these are things we've been talking about this morning, looking at your online activity. If it looks too good to be true, it is more often than not really too good to be true. Look at the addresses that you see when you receive texts, emails, whatever, and see what's wrong. Is there a slightly different is there a misspell to anything at all in that correspondence? And do not click. Call and check whether or not this is legitimate. It takes nothing off of you to be able to do so, to check. Because when you don't, it takes everything away from you. And so we want to make you more aware today to be even more cautious with your online activity. There's sometimes we get sucked in, yes, because it looks really too good to be true. But don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it. Immediately, you call your financial companies and you begin to block your account. Alert them immediately. And then you perhaps can begin to save the dream that would happen if you don't.
Correct.
Everton, thank you so much as always.
You're welcome.
All right. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 13 to the hour now as we turn our attention to the ongoing work of the Child Care Board. And so I'm happy to be joined this morning by two child care officers. There's a senior officer, Carla Hayes, and her assistant indeed is Wendy Jones. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
I want to look at this whole question of the residential program. When you say that, what do you mean?
So the residential care program is the government's response to providing alternative care for children who are deemed at risk and who, for whatever reason, in circumstances unfortunate, cannot be with their family. And so it's people will know it as children's homes, where we place care, where we provide care, for children who are in need of care and protection.
And this is how it works. This is that program, that's how it's set up to do so. So that child who is at risk because of abuse, because of all of the other forms of abuse that could fall, not just physical alone,
yes, please.
The program allows you to be able to assess and place them.
Yes, please.
And oftentimes the only one that we head to in our heads is adoption.
Yes.
But you're saying there are other means of working with the system. Well, give us some examples.
Okay, so foster care is something that we are here to promote this morning because you can imagine children living in a residential facility is still an institution. And unfortunately, sometimes children become institutionalized. And each child deserves to be loved and nurtured. And so not that we don't provide it in residential care, but it cannot be compared to being with a family in a community, still feeling as if you have some value and worth, you know, in the society. So foster care is an alternative to a child having to be in residential care.
Unless you want to adopt the child.
Unless you want to adopt. Everybody wants to adopt a baby, of course, you know.
But there's other stages of life.
Other stages
who
of
also
life.
need your love and your passion and your support and your kindness indeed. Safety is a consideration as well. And so, Wendy, when it comes to fostering, we tend to think we're going to send them back. You know, but is that how it works? You have the child with you for a period of time and then they go back in fostering, or do I foster them every morning, 24 hours a day, whatever period of time?
Yes, you foster them 24 hours a day for a period, and if the foster parent, if they have any challenges, they can contact us and we will come in and help. But through the foster care, we're always there to help psychologically, emotionally, so we don't leave them out there on their own. They can contact us at any time and we're always there to assist and help. We also monitor the children, you know, in terms of the education, in terms of the emotional state, how they are doing in the home, in their foster home, and, you know, because we know the children need a sense of belonging, and this is a way for them to benefit from a family.
The reason I ask is because I don't want parents or people, potential foster parents, to think, come back for this broken doll here.
So each child is actually assigned an officer, right? Because it's an arrangement we have with you. They are aware, anyone who's approved, that an officer has to monitor that child on a monthly basis. We have to do visits, whether they're scheduled or on schedule, unannounced visits, to ensure the placement is going as it should. And we also add supports in place. We have a psychologist, if we need to refer them to psychiatry, whatever the needs are as the problems present, we often have to address the needs. So we don't leave them out there by themselves.
Do we have a major problem in Barbados with fostering though? She nods.
I smile because I think people in Barbados are kind, they love to give, but in terms of bringing into my house, people tend to think because of the process, it might be a little intrusive because an officer can come at your house anytime, right? And if invaders are kind of private, and so they don't necessarily like that intrusion. But we're trying to get people to, you know, shy away from that, understanding that, look at the bigger picture. Providing a child with a safe, nurturing environment is a lot better than just wondering if somebody's going to pop in at you unannounced or so.
But isn't that explained at the beginning of the process, right? That there will be periodic unannounced visits?
Of course, of course.
Let's sensitize people to the process now. So I have a passion for care of children. I see there's a need for people like me to be able to assist with this process. How can I now start? What do I do?
So the first thing you do is contact the board and indicate your interest in becoming a foster parent. Then the coordinator of that program would send you an application form and you will fill out. It is very, I tell people in that, but you can appreciate why, because we have to be very thorough if you're going to place a child in your care. After you send back in that form, you are assigned to an officer, and there's a process of an assessment. Of you, the individual who wants to foster the child. And by extension, your other persons in your family, because if you don't live alone and there are other persons who are going to be there, we need to do the appropriate checks as well. So in that assessment process, there are a number of checks we have to get. Police, you authorize us to check with the police on your character. You have to have a medical. You have to have 3 references. You also go through a series of interviews which addresses your psychological ability, your social ability. You're also referred to our psychologist who does her own assessment to determine your suitability. It might seem intense at first, but like I said, you can appreciate why, because when we approve you, we are saying that you are fit enough to care for a child regardless of the challenges that child may present.
And that's because we see the examples you gave birth to a child and you could abuse it.
Yes.
So what if the person who has not,
Exactly.
who don't feel that same emotional connection, they are also open to abusing the child. Of
course.
But
Yeah.
thank God we do have some wonderful people to
We do.
begin who have a big heart,
Yes. Yes.
who just want to help.
Yes.
And if you have that passion to want to help by fostering a child, contact the Child Care Board today and they can set you up. They begin the process.
Yeah.
How long can the process take, by the way?
It depends on. It can be 3 to realistically, because sometimes when you wait for the police to respond, or depends on how soon your references respond, depends on how soon you get your medicals in, also your availability for the interviews. We have to do a home visit, check your surroundings, make sure it is suitable. So reasonably, I would say 3 to 6 months.
It is 9 months to born a child, so
Right,
3
exactly.
to 6 months is nothing.
Reasonably,
Just be patient.
can be longer, depends on again the appropriate documentation and so.
And so, Wendy, what do you see generally in society as it relates to setting up foster care for children? What are some of the things that you want parents to know about so that they know to avoid, so that they can really be a good party to this whole process of fostering?
Well, we want them to know that fostering benefits a child. While residential care, is good because it assists children who probably had some traumatic experience or a difficulty in a family situation. But I believe that in addition to what we would say years ago, food, clothing, and shelter, children need to bond with a family in a family home. They can experience wholesome relationships where they would have their own individual personalized activities when it comes to, like, for instance, birthdays. Even though birthdays are celebrated in residential care, children can have that personalized birthday, because many of us like to know we have a birthday and we get, our cakes and different things.
Celebrated.
Right, so it's celebrated. In addition, it helps a child emotionally, which is important, and they feel a sense of belonging. And children in foster care, you find that the education, they excel well, they have better trusting, they trust better, and they build more relationships. And the opportunity to give a child a place to call their home, a family to love them, to hug them, when they went through some form of trauma. Remember years ago, the neighbor probably would take your child and raise it. If a family member passes, the parents pass it, if there's nobody, you will get that in the village. But in foster, that's not happening now. So that's why we emphasize and ask person to come forward and foster these little ones, because they need that nurturing, they need that love, because in a residential care, there's staff changes, there's rotations, and you can't bond with a staff like how you would bond with a family. So that's why we would encourage persons to
put themselves forward. One of the most
please.
hurtful things I think for any child is that sense of abandonment.
Yes.
You have also all sorts of insecurity issues that would involve the whole thing about being loved and understood and all of that. And you just feel lost.
Yes.
Lost. And so fostering is one of those options that's available to help you center the child.
Yes.
Because you are a part of an ecosystem known as a family. And while the mother might have given birth to you, you are loved the same way. And I think it's important that we do send those strong messages to children. And so for those of you watching this morning, if you see this as you, really see this as you, and I mean, and you're serious about it, and you live in the way that you know that you can really add value to this child, I'd like to encourage you to contact the Child Care Board today. Don't just linger it in your mind anymore. Call the Child Care Board. Begin the process. Begin the process. As we were told by Carla, before 9 months, you have a child in your home. When you get pregnant, wait for the 9 months, you have the patient there. But here it is, through fostering, you can actually begin the process of sharing that love in a very significant way with a child who needs it.
Yes.
And so we need you to call the Child Care Board today, begin the process, have those discussions. They will work with you to make sure that you do qualify in the ways that you can. If you can't, don't feel badly about it. There may be some things you need some time to fix so that you actually can qualify. But this is too important to our nation and too important to our nation's children for you to just sit and not do anything about it. There are children in need of you. So call the Child Care Board today. What number can they call?
535-2800.
Oh, 535-2800. 535-2800. 535-2800. 538-2800. Call now. Well, not now, after 8 o'clock when the office opens, but call today. I really encourage you to do so. Thank you so very much today, Carla Haynes and Wendy Jones from the Child Care Board. They are child care officers in the residential program. We're now waiting on you to make a difference. All the best, ladies.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not...
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at news now. The platform of vision, purpose, policies and clarity on which the BLP candidate in the upcoming St. James North by-election, Chad Blackman, has pinned his campaign are principles he hopes will be of great inspiration to young people interested in serving their country through politics. Speaking at a meeting at Ashton Hall, hosted by their youth arm, the League of Young Socialists, where Blackman started his political career, he said were it not for the nurturing and guidance he gained as a teenager, he would not be where he is today. He has pledged to continue the support of the youth, not only in the party, but in the constituency.
Part of my mandate to you and commitment to you is to ensure that as I come to you, I bring my background of humility, starting where these young people started. Speaking on platforms, going house to house, rolling up their sleeves and saying to you, this is the message of hope and prosperity for you in this country. This party is a party that has committed itself to ensuring that once you open their door for a young person, they don't only bring themselves and those around them, but they bring a wider community to ensure that they can create opportunities for everybody. That is the Barbados Labour Party way.
Meanwhile, the Democratic Labour Party's candidate in that election, Felicia Dujon, says the sewage tax is a heavy burden on elderly constituents, and she says some of them have told her that they're finding it difficult to pay their water bills through which the garbage and sewage collection is carried out. She is blaming the Barbados Labour Party government for the elderly having to struggle to pay those bills and to make ends meet. Dujon spoke about those issues while addressing a spot meeting at Mount Standfast.
These extra taxes are killing our constituents, especially the elderly.
That's right.
By the time they get the pension tax or the pension tax, they have to spend it on food, and we know the high cost of living already. And then they have to pay their bills, and then you're going to add sewage tax on their bill. I have met several elders in this constituency that no longer have running water at their homes because the bill is too high for them. This is how this government have been treating our foreparents of this country.
Got sports now. Liam Clark of Warren's Primary and Yasmin Eastman of Happyvale Montessori are the champions of the National Sports Council Primary School's badminton competition. They were playing at Shuttler's Court in Searles, and Clark defeated Siraj Brathwaite of Alfala in the boys' final, while Eastman got the better of Yasmin Hope in the girls. Here is a report from Damien Best.
Primary school girls final featuring Yasmin Eastman of Happyvale Montessori versus Jasmine Hope of Charles F. Broome. In the far court, good rally before Hope goes long with the return. Eastman looking really accomplished, lethal with the drop shot. Attack was the name of the game, and Eastman driving, making it look so easy, wrapping up the first game at 11-5. Hope only benefiting from a couple of errors, work to do then in the second. At the turn, still no indication that proceedings would change. Eastman with those quick reflexes and placement up 6-1. Skip ahead, finish line in sight now, and she hits it with authority. Put it in writing then, folks. Eastman of Happyvale Montessori defeating Hope of Charles F. Broome in 2 straight. 11-5, 11-1 to take the girls' title. Next up, the boys' showdown. Siraj Brathwaite of Alfala back in the screen playing Liam Clark of Warren's Primary. This was an epic battle with both players trading points all the way. In fact, there were no extended rallies in the first. Clark producing the right mixture of finesse and attack to seal the opening game at 21-19. Brathwaite, not willing to entertain the prospect of defeat, was very clinical with the pressure on in the second. His footwork improved, and that led to several openings. The best of them here, driving from backcourt on multiple occasions. Clark applying more pressure. Brathwaite returns the favor and brings his opponent to the forecourt. What a point. So Brathwaite then taking the second game at 21-6. On to the tiebreaker. The third and decisive game, and Brathwaite looking to complete the come from behind win, draws first blood. He went up 5-1 and had all the momentum. What approach would Clark take to turn the tide? His drives nullified, and then the error. But where there's a will, there's a way. Call him the comeback kid. Clark drilling down and taking it 1 point at a time. We must say kudos to Brathwaite of Alfala though. He still managed to reach 17 before Clark inched ahead to snatch the win in the end and the boys' title at 21-17 in the third. Well done to both competitors. The future of badminton in Barbados looking bright. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Damien. That's a look at news. More news at noon here on TV8. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock now. Giving guidance to your child is so absolutely critical, but having your child be exposed to what's possible is also equally critical. We're joined now by the president of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors, Shernell Clark, because tomorrow there's a big activity for the youngsters. Shernell, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Now, I hinted at something's happening tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are hosting the 18th Annual National Career Showcase, which will be targeted to third form students all across the island. We are open to having others visit, others from different year levels, but we especially chose the third forms this year because of the timing of the showcase this year, and because at this point they're making those subject choices for going into fourth form onto the CXC program, and those subject choices must align or should align with their career choices.
I mean, at 15 years old, sometimes you don't even know what it is that you'd like to do, and so the career showcase exposes you to those options available out there for work. And so who are some of the, or how many people really will be on career showcase tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have 85 persons confirmed, or 85 booths confirmed to be on display, and we don't just have the traditional careers such as police, nursing, bankers, and so on, but we have an influencer. We actually have an influencer that is going to be there. We have musicians. We have sport personnel from the National Sports Council coming. We also have a funeral director, Chinese medicine. We have a calming corner because, you know, in this day and age with all that's going on, you need to find ways in which to cope.
Yes, yes. And I'm glad that you've expanded it in that way, other than the traditional job opportunities that are available. There are some others that are not as obvious, but people are finding employment in and they're earning enough money for. And so this is what you're doing tomorrow. From what time to what time and where?
Tomorrow it is at the University of the West Indies, and we will be under the graduation tents, the big white tents. Can't miss them once you come in. And we really have to thank our sponsors, Sagicor UE, in a big way, the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union, Babisco, the Stock Exchange, and Gildan Activewear. They made it possible in terms of giving to us, because as a non-governmental organization, a non-profit organization, the funds are needed. So we thank especially those for coming on board. We have the sessions from 9 to 2. But there's a break in between, so half of the schools will be coming from 9 to 11, and the other half, with their 22 secondary schools and private schools are included, and they will be coming from 12 to 2 o'clock.
All right, so tomorrow from 9 to 2, under the tent, we will be all exposed to all of these 80-something different career opportunities available. And so we want to encourage you, mothers and fathers, bring the children early o'clock, from 9 in the morning, early o'clock, let them walk through. I know you can't control traffic sometimes in terms of people, because if I decide to linger past my 2 hours, you can't stop me. I'm there.
Well, actually, the schools are coming together. So the teachers are going to be bringing the students. So once they're ready to go, then they're ready to go.
All right, so there are a range of options available through and for employment really by these people, and I'm hoping that the children come clear in their minds just what they want to do. And if they're not so clear in their mind what they want to do, there's an opportunity there as well for them to learn more. So it seeks clarity. And is all of this aligned to the syllabus at schools?
In terms of the subject choices, linking to careers, definitely, because you would appreciate that as the students get ready to choose these subjects, we have to have conversations with them in terms of which subjects would be the best ones to take them to. Maybe they might have an idea of what they want to do, so we guide them as much as we can, and that is done from even as early as third form, first form. So we have those things in place to help the children make their decisions.
So the whole point is, if they're not sure, visit the Career Showcase tomorrow. It's open to all of the private and public secondary schools, children in third form, and it is at 9 o'clock. It's under the big tent on the UE campus, and so we want to give you an opportunity to come. Bring your child, take your child, have your child attend, and engage, and let them make those wonderful career choices then they'll align the subjects taking to them as well.
Yes,
you know, Chanel, I really wish you and the team much success with this tomorrow. I really hope that you are tired beyond belief by the end of it all, because it brings satisfaction to see that the children have been exposed in a very significant way to what makes a difference to them.
Yes.
Every child wants to feel powerful in their own passion, and so that's what you're doing for them tomorrow. Thank you.
Please.
Thank you very much. Chanel Clark, the president of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors. Tomorrow's showcase, National Career Showcase, is at the UWI from 9 in the morning till 2, and it's for secondary students in third form as they make their career choices. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the
morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 15 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock here as we turn our attention to cricket. Lovely cricket. As you do know, there's a series of home series happening in the region this year, and we are all excited about the outturn of our team and the success that we are definitely going to derive in the region this year. Chris Daring is the Chief Executive Officer of Cricket West Indies Inc., and he joins me now as we look ahead as to what to expect this home series. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Pearson.
Good to see. I said to him at the very beginning, you know, good to see the man in the flesh. I'm always seen on TV. First of all, congratulations on being appointed the Chief Executive Officer.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back in West Indies cricket.
Good. I'd be happy to have you back because we know your legacy through Cricket West Indies and the World Cup tournament in 2007, I believe it was. And we saw the outcome of that. We knew your name from there on. It became a household name, and so we're looking forward to great things from you, including the planning of this upcoming home series. Talk to me about what we can expect.
Sure. Well, full of energy, as they say. Michael Tejas's wonderful hit song. We've fashioned that song into our campaign theme song this summer. So the summer series is going to be fantastic. It kicks off right here in Barbados in June with our ladies who are going up against South Africa in some white ball matches. We have the test series against Australia in July, right here. Oh, sorry, June 25th, right here in Barbados. It kicks off. And we're excited then right afterwards to be hosting Pakistan in some one-day matches. So it's a full summer of cricket. West Indies is on a roll. We have to move and improve our rankings, get up the scale. This summer, the Test cricket is also very important because it's the very start of the World Test Championship cycle. So this is our chance now to move up the ladder and show our worth.
And we've been seeing a lot of worth coming from the teams, really, both women and male teams in recent time. And while some of them, sometimes they may not have won, we've seen improvement.
You're definitely seeing a much more competitive West Indies team. And that's the beginning of a resurgence. You have to become competitive before you can become winning teams. And I think across the board, our ladies and our men are showing quite a bit of improvement.
That's fantastic. But you know, the Caribbean people are also a part of that circle of success. We love to see success, so we turn up for success. We turn up to support the effort of the people. And so all season long, starting this June coming up next month, right through the whole cricketing season coming up, you want people to fill the stadium. You want us to come out and support.
Yeah, it's both about supporting our teams, making sure that we bring the energy which they need as teams to feel loved, to feel supported and so on. And to encourage that, one of the things that we're doing this year is quite unprecedented. For the women, of course, it's it's absolutely free. You can turn up, support, bring your kids, show our ladies the kind of love that they deserve. For our test matches, all children are free.
Ooh.
All children under 16. You don't need a ticket. I don't want anybody to think there's a barrier. I don't have a free ticket for my child. Just bring them. We're not going to turn anybody that even looks young. Maybe you might pass through.
I am in for free.
But the reality is that we just want to encourage people to come to the game, experience the game.
Yes.
It's very difficult to appreciate the game unless you get a chance to experience it. And of course, that then redounds to the benefit of the players who feel much more love from the fans and support.
Jomel Warrican sat where you are sitting at the moment last week, and he said to me, for them, the players on the field, the crowd is the 13th player. You are a part of the energy. You're a part of why they succeed. And so I will really want that Barbadians and people across the region, because we do have regional viewers as well, turn up and turn up the energy, because it's also important that the team feels you there for success. And as Chris said, while we may not win, improvement is what we're going after.
But let's look on what there's something called home field advantage.
Yes.
There's a reason there's home field advantage. Do you not understand when Jamel Warrican appeals for a leg before decision, if 10,000 Barbadians are screaming that same appeal, you know, there's a lot of pressure. Whether or not the decision actually goes with you or not, but that batsman felt that pressure. And you know, that's part of being of home field advantage. It works every time.
Every time. And so we want this to work all the time, folks. It's full of energy. It's what we're bringing to the cricket game going forward from here on in. And that energy is also your energy. So come positive, come prepared. Remember, children are free for the home test series coming up until what, age 16?
Up until 16, but hey.
But if you look young enough, they might sneak in.
We're not gonna turn you.
We're not gonna turn you away.
Parents,
so
bring your kids.
Bring your children along. And so very soon, box offices will be open. And
it's actually open online, so you can buy your tickets. So please feel free to start buying, and of course, bring the energy.
Bring the energy. Bring the energy. The women games are free to all, so we can all come into Kensington Oval, as we kind of refer to it, the Mecca of cricket in the Caribbean. I saw his smile. You know,
I love it. The Mecca. I love it.
And indeed, we want you to come out to be a part of the whole game fully. Indeed, it's full of energy. Chris, I want to thank you so much. Is there anything else you think we as cricket lovers in the region need to know about?
Well, we're going to be announcing our test captain very soon. We've gone through a very thorough process, probably the first time in history, the kind of process that we've actually put our shortlisted candidates through, with interviews, with psychometric testing, etc. Everything to help them develop as leaders. I would have, as an executive, would have gone through similar processes. And our test captain is probably one of the most important leaders of the region. And so you have to give everybody an opportunity who are leaders to develop. And so we have a great pool of talent to pick from, and we're excited about that announcement, which will be coming shortly.
Stay tuned to hear all about that. But you know, Chris is the best example of all of that. And so we know, we once said a deputy essential, but a chief executive officer like Chris Daring is even more essential.
Right,
Chris, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. We give you our full support, because we know you deliver. And because you deliver, we have the confidence that it will be to our success. Thank you.
And we also know Barbados delivers when it comes to cricket.
All the time.
Thank you.
So it's full of energy, folks, full of energy. And it's Michael Tage's song. Do we have the video? Do we have the video? Talk to me. Good. Let's join the energy now. We're back in just a moment.
Stranger space. Look at the West Indies. West Indies cricket is all our legacy. It's our energy when we come down here. Time to rally around the West Indies. It's in every creed and race. West Indies are the holy grail. West Indies is where we from. Sunshine and sweet steel drums. No boundary could stop, we might. When the West Indies unite, everybody charge up. West Indies going higher, full of energy, energy.
ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 25 minutes now after 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to what I think is so critical indeed, helping one's self. So the question is, who helps the helper? That's a question being raised by the Barbados Union of Teachers, and it is not in any way anything about a march, nothing about that at all. The question is, what's going on with the Barbados Union of Teachers? And we're joined this morning by Tonya Joseph, who is a professional development coach, and she's also a tutor as well at the Barbados Edgerton Teachers Training College. Sharice Rock is an executive member of the BUT as well. So good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So who helps the helper?
We help the helper, the Barbados Union of Teachers.
Okay. So who are the helpers? The teachers?
Yes, definitely. The teaching service really carries the nation on its back. And at times, the public doesn't recognize how difficult the profession could be. And we also carry our families, we carry our children, we carry our aging parents, and it could be a heavy load to carry. And what the Barbados Union of Teachers wants to do is to help teachers to carry that load. And we're going to help them by facilitating a health extravaganza on Saturday the 17th, which is this Saturday, where we're going to be focusing on many topics on health and wellness. We don't want our teachers to just cope. We want them to thrive. So we're providing an opportunity for them to do so.
In other words, avoid the burnout. Right?
Yes.
So, Sharice, what's happening then on Saturday that teachers will be a part of?
Okay, first let me say, this baby is all Tonya's.
Oh, it is.
The Barbados Union of Teachers, we are acting as midwives here with this baby.
I like the analogy.
We're helping it to come off. And we feel strongly about it. As the Professional Development Committee, we want to recognize the holistic teacher. So this Saturday, we'll be looking at mental health, colon health, heart and stroke, cancer, diet and health, HIV/AIDS, financial literacy, medical insurance. We're even going to we're having food and drinks on sale. We're trying to go on the healthier side. We're having massages, free health checks, and the event is a free event, so it's a win-win situation.
Yes.
We are going to also have a special draw for a spa. A spa treatment from Chakra Spa, one of our sponsors. So it's going to be a fun, informative time.
For teachers?
Not only for teachers. We are targeting teachers. We want teachers to come out, but we recognize that it's open to the public, open to everybody.
So we are all invited. After all, we are all stakeholders in education, right? And so we want to encourage all of you to come. Let's help the helpers indeed. And you're right. If we don't take care of our health, which is who we are at the end of the day, unhealthy people will get ill and die. If you want to live, the healthier you ought to be. And so teachers, because of the kinds of strains that you carrying other people's problems as well. It puts even greater pressure on you. You have your own, you have your children, and then you have to take on the third wing here, which is the other people. And so if you don't take care of yourself, you will break down.
Definitely.
And so this one is for everyone, but it's particularly for teachers. We want teachers to really, really come out. This is your day to just forget about heading for the groceries. Forget about all those kinds of things. If you have to go get a hairdo, so what? Don't worry about it. Come.
You can come after.
You can come after. You'll take hours at here as hair specialist.
We're starting at 10 a.m. and we're going to 3 p.m. And it's going to be at Mary Hill, the beauty headquarters. That's in Welch's, St. Michael.
Yeah, right there by the corner. So if you're coming down Belmont Road, it's to your left before you approach the roundabout. That's where it is?
Let me see if we get Belmont Road. I lost that Belmont Road.
You pass the public workers.
Yes.
You're past the public workers on your right. I'm approaching the roundabout there before you make the left turn to go to the hospital.
No.
Is that where it is?
That's the credit union. That's the Barbados Teachers
That's not where it is.
That's not
where it is. So where is Mary Hill?
Mary Hill. We are coming from the Welch's post office. We're coming down. There's a giveaway. You come down there, and we're going as if you're going to. Help me here.
So you're going to Bridge Road?
No,
we're going back towards the President's location, State House.
Yes.
All right, and the left turn before we get to the traffic lights.
Yes.
I get you now.
Just after the post office.
That is Mary Hill.
That is Mary Hill.
Okay, I would have been lost indeed. That is Mary Hill. So you pass the post office and you make that left turn.
And you go up the hill.
If you come down the other hill now, you pass State House on your left, and you come to those traffic lights, make the right turn, and make the right turn thereafter. I got you now. I now know where Mary Hill is, and that's where the helpers will be. These are people who give back, who help the nation thrive, who help the nation's children cope as well. And so it's for all of you. You were telling me, Tanya.
And we have a number of partners that have come on board to help support the initiative on Saturday. The Barbados Cancer Society, Sandy Crest Medical Center, Pharmacy Sales, the Barbados Nurses Association, Creative Therapeutic Therapy, Engineering Wellness. We have a lot of stakeholders, and it's a wonderful thing to have so many people who are interested in supporting this initiative. And we really want the public, but especially teachers and their families, to come out and be a part of Saturday's event.
From 10 in the morning, by the way, of course, at Mary Hill. And so free health checks, food and drinks will be on sale after all, and so we want you to come. But while you're there, you might also engage with some new fruit juices that might really add all sorts of things to your body to make it right. I love cucumber and ginger. I don't know if you ladies have ever tried it.
Love it.
It is one of the most refreshing beverages once it's nice and ice cold. Lord have mercy.
add a hint of ginger.
Yes, anything. You go clear. But cucumber and ginger, I've had to use it following my illness and stuff, and it really helps the flow of the blood through the body. And so I want to encourage you to try all of those natural fruit juices indeed as well. So Mary Hill is where we're going on Saturday, this coming Saturday from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, like a whole school day. But bring the family, bring the teachers, bring all of you. Anyone can come. Entry is free.
Entry is free.
Free 99.
We don't deal with cents anymore, so it's free. Indeed. You see that comment right here next to me? That is Tanya Joseph, indeed, and next to her is Cherise Rock. I really want to thank you, ladies. I wish you well. You wanted to say something, Cherise?
Oh, yes. I was saying, don't forget the yoga demonstration. That's going to be there as well. And we're going to have music. So it's going to be a fun fair.
Relaxing.
Nothing boring about it.
Nice. This Saturday. Thank you, ladies. All the best.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that.
This segment of Exceptional Youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way.
24, the Phoenix Award Individual, and the nominees are Mr. Andre Lashley Coppin, Ms. Zinzani Holder, Mr. Samuel Boston, Miss Aaliyah Olivier, Miss Roshana Trim, Mr. Joshua Harris, Miss Giovanna Eiffel, Mr. Ramon Rollins, Miss Rabia Clark, Mr. Kevon Bavel, Miss Renee Holford, Mr. Renako Bailey, and Mr. Tremaine Griffith.
And the winner is Mr. Renako Bailey.
Renako is the co-founder and chair of We Talking Boys, an organization developed to create a safe haven for males to discuss without fear or judgment safely. Renako began his journey as a youth gender champion under the High Commission of Canada and has acted as a gender equality advocate for Barbados and Eastern Caribbean, and work continued with the Institute of Gender and Developmental Studies, Nitabaro Unit. Renako has represented Barbados and the Caribbean Male Action Network at the Younger Forum, organized by Bridging the Gap Ventures.
Well, now you know who we had on our show this morning. His name was Renako Bailey. Thank you, Renako, for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
I was going to say to leave, but just kidding you. We just shared your whole life story for just a moment there on the screen. That was last year.
Last year.
That was last year when you received the Phoenix Award. Libby Talk Boys. What's that about, Libby Talk Boys?
So We Talking Boys, again, is, as was mentioned, is a safe haven for young men and boys. One of the things that came out of COVID was actually the group found a need for a space for men and boys to share, and to share, you know, just without any judgment, and just be able to share. So from that we started, it was originally the founders, it started as a WhatsApp group chat with about 4 persons, went from a WhatsApp group chat to Discord server to what it is now. But one of the main focuses outside of providing that safe haven is gender equality, and how do we advance gender equality. The known statistic is that men, the males contribute most to gender-based violence, and one of our missions is how do we move men from a position of cause to one of solution, and through peer-to-peer education is how we tackle that.
And that's what you do. And I keep saying, you know, we have these excellent young people who live among us. We don't see them. You guys just exist. And sometimes you don't know because you have your own ecosystem. And this is why we do Exceptional Youth, to show people that among us, walking, looking ordinary, are some brilliant young people doing phenomenal work in Barbados. Renako is one of them. He is the recipient of the Phoenix Award. And so that experience of knowing that you were nominated, and Tion, you nominated him.
Yes, correct.
Why did you nominate Renako?
So I know Renako as far back as UE. I was actually on his committee for the Social Sciences Student Association. So I've known Renako since then, and I have known what Renako has been doing in the space, in the gender space as well. So when I was a bit more exposed to his work, and also We Talking Boys, you know, I even was listening to somebody's podcast, I want as well. So when I realized that it's an organization that, you know, it provides a safe space and is transformative for the region, you know, in terms of providing that safe space for men to, you know, express, you know, emotions, vulnerability, those sort of things. I realized that, you know, this is what the region needs, you know, because we are so caught up in that men do not express themselves. And I think that's what the region needed, and I think that it deserved the spotlight and something that people should know about.
What was the process of nomination like? Was it arduous? Was it easy?
It was pretty simple. So basically, you just would have filled out the application form. You would have also included the social media handles of the person and their organization. Also some evidence of their work. So any links online, any projects, you would include those to back up the application process as well.
Well, you have to show you're working. And so the nomination process was done online, or was it done?
Yes, it's done online. So there's a Google form that is on the Division of Youth Instagram page. So when you go on that link, you fill the form from there and you submit it.
That's DivYouth246 on Instagram.
Yes.
Simple. So I'm taking the time to talk you through this, folks, because nominations are open. Nominations are now open for the 2025 National Youth Awards and National Youth Awardees. Renako was the 2024 awardee of recipient of the Phoenix Award. So Renako, when you found out that you won, you had been nominated.
Yeah.
How did you find that out? Somebody called you?
I think I can't remember the exact process in terms of how I found out. I think it was either an email or I was surprised because
so he didn't tell you. Tion said
there was a rumor within my friend spaces that maybe I would have been nominated.
Yes.
So to actually see that because I didn't know who did it, so that somebody did it was quite nerve-wracking but exciting at the same time, because oftentimes, as you correctly said earlier, sometimes we just do what we have to do. We don't really make a big fuss.
Yeah. And so you sat there in the Frank Cullimore Hall and you heard everybody else's name called. You said, oh my gosh, look, these other people are people I know who are doing outstanding work. And you waited, heart pounding, because, I mean, after all, we all want to win. Pounding, and then the pause. And then your name was called. What went through your head to hear Renako Billy? You first thought, me?
Exactly. It was absolutely surreal, because again, some of the nominees were doing some amazing, outstanding work. So for me to be selected as winner, I was very pleasantly surprised. And you probably saw in the clip earlier, there was like a slight delay in actually me getting up, because I was definitely pleasantly surprised.
And so, having now received this award and recognition, what have you been able to do, or how has it amplified what you do?
Yeah, I think in terms of amplification, it's definitely amplified what we've been doing at the Talking Boys. There is an exciting collaboration being pending for next month that I'll just tease. Since then, I would have represented Barbados, particularly in the Latin America and the Caribbean Young Peace Building program, and this is with the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations. Since then, we would have actually had a conflict resolution workshop in partnership with our friends at the High Commission of Canada, and we would have had various podcasts, as Tion would have mentioned. We would have launched our podcast network.
So there's a lot for us to follow and follow you on. And so the nomination process is open. And Tion, again, walk us through, so folks who are watching today, because we really want to see more Renakos come through, men who are doing passionate things in our community. Explain to again simply what it is about.
So nominations are open until May 23rd. So when you go on the Instagram page, you're going to see the different categories of awards. These awards have their own descriptions, the criteria you have to meet. So once you go through these thoroughly and you read them, you can then think of who you think will qualify for this award. So then you can just get their information, get their work, evidence of their work and whatnot. And once you compile that information as well, that makes a solid application for that candidate.
And the man does the work there. He knows it so well. Tion Seeley. Indeed, he was the one who nominated Renako Bailey, who is now the recipient of the Phoenix Award. And you have the evidence to show, the trophy and everything else to show. Nobody can take that from you, for sure. But, keep up doing the phenomenal work that you're doing. We're immensely proud of it. And keep us clued in to this project that you just teased this morning. We want to know more about it when you're ready to do so, okay?
We will.
On Mornin Barbados. And Tion, thank you for being a good representative of the You've done well. You've done very, very well. Remember, go to the Instagram page, DivYouth246, and in their bio, you'll see the link. as Tion suggested, read the different awards, read the respective categories, think of the someone you know who is deserving of that particular award. You can nominate as many people as you care to do so. There's no limit on the number. Send a supporting documentation, and then good luck to all indeed. Gentlemen, all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're back in just a moment.
This segment of Exceptional Youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth.
morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 11 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. If you know me, you know I'm excited about the work at the Barbados Community College. There is such great work coming from the college. And you know, while I was there, they didn't have portfolio, but thank God they do now. And so the portfolio season is on. I must tell you that the Visual Arts and the Graphics Division, they're having their opening night tonight. And on coming up shortly, I'll talk to you about fashion, because on Sunday, fashion will take the stage indeed, as they take a journey of textiles and tones at the Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute on Pamaree Hotel. That's a lovely location. And then dance is on the 24th of the month. But talking to us now about fashion is the tutor next to me, Tessa Daniel. She is a tutor of fine arts in fashion.
Yes.
Good morning to you, ma'am. Good to have you.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward most of all to what your students are able to do.
I am looking forward to it too.
You told me there are 9 students that will be showcasing.
Yes.
Talk to me about getting them ready so that they're able now to put on their portfolios.
That is a task in itself. Sometimes you have to inspire some of them come already ready, prepared and ready to go, and then some of them you just wean into it. But so far they've been doing very well. They are, I would say, prepared. They're now doing the little finishing touches just to thing. We had the model fitting already. So things are going well.
So on Sunday, when we come to the Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute, we're seeing the results of those classes.
Yes.
9 students showing their fashion.
Yes.
And in what, I'm not a fashionista, in what categories? Gents wear, women's wear, what is it,
many different categories. So we have one student who's doing like a resort wear collection, another one, about 3 of them who are doing like a very streetwear type young look. Then we have another one that is going to be doing, well, more so we speak about Sylvester and his textiles and how he does the weaving. And again, his wear is more of a avant-garde, very wearable art look. And then we also have another student who's doing semi-formal to formal collection as well. So there's a range of many different looks that the students, again, that is a passion that they would want to go into or they're thinking of going into, so therefore that's what they would have designed.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. Folks, we are all looking forward to Sunday. What time does it start on Sunday again?
4 p.m.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
4 o'clock. Do I need to reserve space, or you have ample space? Is it around the pool area?
Yes. We should have ample space, God's willing.
Yeah, I got it. God's willing, we'll have ample space. Sylvester Clark.
Yes.
When you sat and you brought, I was like, this is beautiful. The work that you do, you do weaving and textiles.
I weave everything that I do. So I weave I weave with wool. This is wool.
Right.
Well, what we call wool in Barbados. Acrylic, really.
Yes.
The wool for sheep we don't get in Barbados. But then I use also cottons. Cottons I import from Canada. And sometimes I use other upcycled materials. So when people sew, I take their scraps and weave with it. So for the collection, I've woven some jersey material. So I got some jersey material from a person that sews, cut in strips, and wove with it. And then I got some chiffon material, or different types of scraps, and weave it. There's a wrap skirt that's woven with chiffon material and other upcycled fabrics. And then there's one of the pieces for the men is woven with the wool and jersey material. I think that's a fantastic piece. That another piece I wove. I got some upcycle elastic. Some elastic that was being thrown away. I upcycled that. Then I got some. I'm trying to do some research on the banana shank.
Right.
I haven't got as far as I would like with that, but so I'm also upcycle banana shank too. So I'm trying to do something different and creative.
You got that right.
Myself.
This for me is very breathable, wearable art. You have one around your neck, you have one in the seat next to you, and it's beautiful.
Thanks.
I mean, just to the eye alone, it's stunning. To the touch, it's also quite stunning as well. And your tutor reminds me, it's soft, it's light. Because I thought, this must be heavy, but no, it isn't. It truly isn't. Great work you're doing, Sylvester. Well done. Adonai. She is Adonai Passion Savannah.
Yes, please.
So talk to me about your choice of a name as a designer.
Well, that is my birth name, but I haven't really chosen a fashion name, but it's gonna come. But my business name is Adonis Touch. So yeah.
All right. So tell me what your skill is. What can we see when you showcase at portfolio?
Well, my collection, the most unique thing and my favorite thing about my collection is how I use curtain shear and I hand dyed it and I manipulated it to create this seafoam texture. So it's reminding you a lot about the ocean.
Listen, your tutors excited here because of what you've been able to do.
Yes,
and I always wonder sometimes, where do you all find the eye and the imagination to see all of what's possible? I can only see from here to the end of your chair. And so, you know, it's great to know that you're able to do so. Your passion for design, talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, my passion for design, like from the time that I can remember, I always loved fashion. Like when I was younger, I used to find anything around the house, plastic bags, fabrics. I used to take Play-Doh and start making clothes for my dollies. So that's how it came about. And then during COVID is when my parents surprised me with a sewing machine when they realized I had an interest. And I would say I learned the basics from the University of YouTube. and then I did a bit at my secondary school, and then I came to BCC, and that's where my skill developed.
But you know, a lot of times people tend to think, oh, but get a real job now. This sewing thing is just for you and your friends, and you have a little fun cutting up this and cutting that. But you're taking it seriously.
Yes, please.
So why do you think you want to take it as serious as you're taking it?
I just love fashion. I just love it.
You can't think of anything else.
I can't think of nothing else. This is my path for sure.
Yes. And it's so good to hear that coming from you, your young lips telling us all of this, because there are lots of young people today, Miss Tutor, who are thinking, but I like this, and then my parents are trying to box me in to something I don't want to do. But you're saying the Barbados Community College, through the Division of Fine Arts that you are a tutor in, that it is possible, and you help them realize that.
Yes, and at the end of the day, we have to understand that everything works together. So therefore, it's not just about the craft, it's about understanding accounting, it's understanding the business of fashion, it's understanding the whole dynamics that works together. Remember, fashion is a multi-billion-dollar industry. But the thing is that you have to know how to tap into that market and how to work with others, because again, it's not the what you call the old-time Bajan thoughts of chief cook and bottle washer, and you're managing everything. It is about knowing a task for each person and therefore letting things grow.
Lovely. And all this happens at community college here? All of this happens at the community college. We drive by and we know what's happening. They're just walking about. No, all of this is being taught there. So Sylvester, you could have simply sat and woven and move along, but you wanted to formalize your education. Why did you take that decision?
Well, I always want to weave. I want to use my woven stuff to make garments. I used, for the last 38 years, I've been using the fabrics to make bags, wall hangers, and other stuff. But I've worked with some other artists and other designers to take my fabrics to make garments with it. And I always thought I want to learn to make garments with my creations. I went to community college and I just retired. I said I want to go to community college to do fashion design, do textiles, and I really went. I really couldn't imagine that I would do what I do. But I was thinking, I don't know, I might went to open mind, and the truth there really encouraged me to do stuff, and they really opened my mind to create stuff for my fabrics. So I'm really ecstatic for what I have created from the last couple of 2 years that I created this stuff to make my garments.
And you used the word that I think is so important to a lot of people. You said, I'm now retired. And oftentimes we think education is just for those who are young, like Adonai, and nobody else. But at any stage of one's life, you can enter the Barbados Community College and take on a course of study. You can enter the university and do a course of study. You can follow your passion. You may have done someone else's job while you were physically able to do so, but no, you're retired, you got time, man. Do your passion project. And this is where the community college really helps. I'm not just selling the community college, but I'm also trying to help the Fine Arts Division, because in fashion, you live your dream. We are walking billboards. And so the Fine Arts Division is helping us to be able to accentuate all of that about ourselves. You guys do
And it's
phenomenal
interesting
work.
that you said that because we have a lot of students that come in the evening program for a certificate course. And I always hear, especially the mature ones, always says, I wanted to do this when I was small, but my mother told me that I couldn't do this. I had to go and do this
Yes.
job and that job. So it's very true.
And it's always the mother who gets the blame. always. But this is happening on Sunday, folks, at the Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute there at the Pommery Hotel. It starts at 4 in the afternoon. Is it free to come in, or do we have to pay?
Well, you can get all that information off of our social media, which is on BCC College to Runway, and you'll get to see all the students and some video footage of the
Nice.
behind the scenes and everything.
BCC College to Runway. And so the runway is now open to all of us to come engage indeed and explore and see what's possible on Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Palm Marine Hotel. We're looking forward to this. So all the best to each of you indeed with your
Thank
future
you
paths
so
and
much.
careers.
Thank
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank
for coming
you.
by as well.
Yes.
Folks, that's it. I am now thrilled. I am so inspired that everything is possible because it is possible on this 166 square miles. I hope you feel the same way too. My little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have yourselves a terrific today. If it be the will of the Lord, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.